So before we get started with this story, if you want to support the channel, check out my Teespring store. You'll find a link in the description. You'll find search such as this one, a Soye story. So I saw some people talking about this on Twitter, so I looked into it. Admittedly, I don't read the Ninja Turtles comic book. I do hear it's actually quite good. I've always wanted to read it, but by the time I was even introduced to the idea that this comic book was back, they were already like 50 issues deep, so I never got into it. I do plan on eventually starting to pick up the trades. I think I might actually pick one up today when I go to the comic book shop because I've been wanting to read this series. I remember when Donatello got his shell cracked or whatever, and they put him in a little robot for a while. I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. So I've skipped this series, and I'm planning on getting into it. Apparently, they're introducing a new turtle. New Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mask, color, and weapons revealed. Check out the new female Ninja Turtle. Now, admittedly, this didn't bother me when I saw this because there's been female Ninja Turtles before. I remember particularly Venus from the live action show. Admittedly, I never read the old black and white comic. My exposure to Turtles was the super old cartoon and arcade games and stuff like that and the movies. That was where I, found Ninja Turtles. But I do remember the show where they did a live action show. It was really bad. And they had Venus on there, and she was a female turtle or whatever. So the idea of this isn't a new concept. But admittedly, when I was looking through it, I thought that her design was actually kind of cool. It's a little bit different than the other turtles, and I like the yellow color. Some of the people that are mad, though, is that she kind of looks more like the guys. But it said, have you seen Turtles? There's not much of it. I don't know the difference between a female or a male turtle anyway, which is maybe where they're going with this. I don't know. I just think maybe some of the outrage about this one is kind of dumb. This is my opinion. I don't think a lot of people even read this book anyway, so I just don't see the big deal. So sometimes I absolutely see the big deal when you take Thor and we're just going to go ahead and make Jane Foster the Thor now. That's dumb. When you change the hammer to he be worthy to they be worthy, it's dumb. But this, you're making a new character, right? That doesn't bother me. I like her origin. So apparently, so this is going to be spoilers. The origin of Jenny, or Jennica, the new yellow mask turtle, a human woman named Jennica, or Jenny for short, has been making waves in the series as of late. So she got introduced early, as she is both the love interest of Casey Jones and a member of the Foot Clan. Though the Foot Clan is typically a villainous group, it was taken over by Splinter in the comic, which I think is kind of an interesting idea, and he's been hard at work trying to reform them into something more honorable. Jenny has long been loyal to the ideals of the Foot Clan, but found herself conflicted with what was right and wrong. That was put to the test when former Foot Clan leader Kiara confronted Jenny and asked for help in retaking control from Splinter, and when Jenny refused, she stabbed her. The Ninja Turtles tried to rescue Jenny by bringing her to a lab where they planned to save her with the healing properties of the ooze, but the plan was interrupted when they were attacked and the ooze canister was destroyed by the Earth Protection Force bad guys and Metalhead. Desperate and running out of time to save Jenny, Donatello decided to use Leonardo to perform an emergency blood transfusion into Jenny, hoping Leo's mutant blood would be enough to do the trick. And the transfusion turned her from this chick into a turtle. I think that's an interesting origin, actually. They introduced her early, made her like a top Foot Clan soldier working with Splinter. She's got a conflicted past. She's not perfect. I think it's an interesting origin. And then, boom, she was former human, turned into a turtle. I think that's interesting. I think there's a lot you can do with that, wishing she was still a human and such. And that's an interesting dynamic. Now, I get the argument. They're saying One Angry Gamer put out an article where they talk about how typically characters like this still have some kind of feminine traits. And I understand. She still does kind of have looks like a softer face there. And her arms aren't as big as the male turtle. She has bigger legs. I don't know too much about this book, but it looks like it's fitting the art style that's there. And looking at turtles, usually the male and female turtles are indistinguishable in real life. And if anything, I'd be mad that Raphael has this weird pink dog on his shoulder. What is this? So yeah, I want to check this series out. I've been wanting to, but I think some of this stuff is a little, let's just calm down a little bit here. You get some people getting really mad about it, and it's like, maybe it'll be good. I mean, I'm piqued. It piqued my interest, and I think this is the point of this is to get public knowledge going. And as far as origin stories goes, this is a hell of a lot better than anything I've seen come out of Marvel. Just had Jane Foster mosey up and grab the hammer. I'm worthy now. This is much more thought out. I think the design's all right. She looks kind of like a badass. I dig the claws. It's different enough. I hear she has swords. Yeah, she has a bow, swords, and claws. Kind of overkill. Give her one weapon. She doesn't need 35 weapons. She doesn't need to stand out like she's the greatest fighter on the team or something. If they do something like that, that'll be really stupid. If she's like, yeah, I'm better than Leonardo now, or they make her the leader. We'll see. I don't think they're going to shake up the status quo that much, but this doesn't bother me. I actually think this is one of the better introductions of a new character that I've seen. Some people are saying deviant art. I don't know. I think the design looks good. She looks like another turtle, so I don't know. Either way, I'm fine with this. What are your thoughts on it, though, I guess, if you're actually reading this book? So I do have two complaints about it. One, we're going with this whole non-binary thing is a little like, what are you doing there? Two, the name Jenny is stupid. You have Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello. Couldn't she have adopted a Renaissance code name? Now, maybe they'll change that. Maybe she'll I want to have a turtle name now. I want to have a name similar to you guys. We're a team or whatever. Maybe they will change that. That would be my biggest complaint. But, for the most part, she looks like a turtle. And I guess, I can make the argument that female and male turtles don't look the same. Somebody said, I saw that somebody was complaining, like, oh, she don't have boobs or whatever. It's like, bro, turtles don't have boobs. So, I don't know. I think that would have looked kind of foolish. At the end of the day, I don't really care about the design. I just, don't give her 35 weapons to try to make her be like, this is the team's new badass. I think that's kind of dumb. I think that the name Jenny is dumb. I'm really hoping that they're like, okay, let's give her a code name. You're a turtle now. Let's give you a new name. Something like Venus would be fine. Now, I don't think that they can give her that name because I also saw a good point somebody made that apparently Hasbro might own the rights to that character. Or not Hasbro, Saban. Saban might own the rights to that character because, well, they had that show and that's when they had the rights to it. I don't know. Those rights could be tied up. But I think to give her a code name, to go more in line with the rest of the turtles, that would kind of fix that. And who knows, they might. So yeah, ditch all those crazy weapons. Have her specialize in one weapon like the rest of them. Don't try to make her be the team badass. No one's going to like that. I think, though, the addition of a new turtle is fine. It's fine that this female character, it doesn't look like they just woozed her in, It sounds like she's been part of the books for a while, is established. It'd be interesting to see her relationship with Casey because they said that she was a love interest before. So anyway, I'm just calling it out. I mean, come on. This is much better than most of the stuff we've seen. I think this is fine. I think sometimes we just get mad over things to get mad, and that makes us like the NPCs. So I think this is an instance of let's give something a fair shake, in my opinion. I'm sure some people might agree with me. The people I really want to hear from are people that are actually reading the comic book. What are your thoughts on this? I want to hear what you guys have to say. What do you think of this character? Because she's been around for a while. So that's it. Yeah, just give it a shot. I think this is a better origin than most that I've read. Anybody that's seen the trash coming out of Marvel and reads that article description that I put out, this is a much better. This is a much better inclusion of some kind of representation. So, anyway, I'm sure some people are going to get mad about this, but I'm just giving my thoughts on it. Go read some Marvel comics, and you have reasons to be mad. Anyway, see you guys.